Welcome back, my friends. So today we're going to work on one other type of multiplication problem that you can use the strategies that we just talked about in the last video. So our I can for this is I can solve input-output tables by using multiplication facts. Now, you can find the answer to these facts or the product by everything that we talked about in the last video. You can do it by skip counting, multiplication chart, array, or equal groups. Any of those strategies will help you find the answers. So let's go and see what an input-output table is like. First, an input-output table will often have a rule. Now, today we're only using rules involving multiplication, but it can be a rule of division, it can be addition, it can be subtraction. Now, this rule, at the top it says rule, multiply by, and then it gives you a number. Now, I haven't picked out my number yet. Then you have an in column, an in column, and right now we have numbers in the in column, but none in the out column, so the output. We have to figure out what the product is of these multiplication problems. So first, we're going to do multiply by 4 as our rule. So I look over here, this is our other product. So we would say 4 times 0, and we would get the answer of 0. Because anytime you multiply a number by 0, the answer is always 0. Now, here's where we can start using some skip counting or some doubles facts. Here we have 4 times 2. Now, we know we could do 4 plus 4 as a doubles fact, or we could say, we could use our skip counting. We could say 4, 8, and 4 times 2 would be 8. Next up, we're going to go to a little harder number. We're going to do 4 times 7. So I'm going to need both hands if I'm going to skip count that up. Here we go. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So 4 times 7 is 28. Now I could skip count the other direction because we know we can flip those factors around to find a product in the multiplication problem. So we could do this. We could say 7, 14, 21, 28. 7 times 4 is 28. Either way, you get the correct answer. Now, even though my dry erase marker is dying here, you have your product up here, you have your product here. Oh, I'm sorry, your factor here, and then you put your answer or your product in the output side, in the outside. Now we're going to do 4 times 8. So we can do the same thing we just did. We could skip count. We could say 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Or we could skip count by 8s. We could say 8, 16, 24, 32. Either way, we get 32. And each time, we look to where our factor is, and we put the product in the output side, in the outside of our table. Now, let's go ahead and do one more. Let's do, we've been practicing some 6s, so I think we should do 6. So this time our rule is going to be multiply by 6. Here we go. 6 times 0 is 0. So let's go ahead and put that. Next is 6 times 2. Let's count it up. Here we go. 6, 12. 6 times 2 is 12. So we have our first 2 answered already. Now let's go to 6 times 7. This is a little tougher. Here we go. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. So 6 times 7 is 42. There we go. Now, we can figure out that 6 times 8 in a couple of ways. We can skip count it, or we could just add one more 6 to 42. Since this is 6 times 7, 6 times 8 would just be 6 more. But I'll go ahead and skip count it so we practice our skip counting. Make sure you're practicing with me. Here we go. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. 6 times 8 is 48. And that is how we solve an input-output table when you are looking to get the product or the answer that goes in the output side. Now, you are going to work on the IXL metal. It is H4, and you're going to do the same thing in H4. Now, my suggestion would be go slow because you won't do a lot of problems since you're having to fill out a table in each one. Go slow, get them right. Now, for it to count for attendance, you need to either get to 100 or you need to work on it for at least 20 minutes. Okay? Have a good day.